What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and oh my god, we are starting this vlog off with a brand new spanking new camera that has a screen so I can actually see what I'm recording to make sure that you guys actually get stuff that you want to see, or stuff that I want to see, or we all want to see. I don't know, you guys kind of catch my drift. It feels so refreshing to start the vlog with a brand new spanking new camera. I absolutely love this thing. Getting a new camera is kind of like getting a new phone. When you get that latest and greatest phone, although it does basically the same thing and kind of has pretty much all the same features, there's usually one thing that you just get really excited about. Well, in this instance, this one's a little smaller, does everything that the old camera does, except it has a flip out screen. We still don't have any updates from Compliance Sweepstakes Services on the winner of Dream Diesel giveaway number 13. It's back there. That's Jake's Ford F-150 right there. Right back there. You guys know what I'm talking about. We do anticipate that we'll have 6 winners on or around November 10th to the 15th, so make sure you're following Enthusiast Apparel down in the description below for those details. As you guys can see, it is horrendously windy out here today. Last night, I really felt like our house was gonna kind of blow over. Wind gusts up to 55 miles an hour today. It's also like 35 degrees outside. It feels very cold, but we got stuff to do. In this video, I'm going to let you guys know the cheapest and easiest way to avoid rock chips if you're looking at running wide wheels on your truck, or if you already are running wide wheels and you're seeing rock chips. Ever since I started this YouTube channel, I've been running 14 wides on pretty much every single one of my trucks except 8-ball, the DURTYMAX, and Dream Diesel giveaway number 8. There were just very few exceptions to my infatuation with 14 wide wheels. I get asked the question all of the time. Sorry about the wind noise, guys. I really hope that it's not coming through. We do have the external mic, so hopefully it's doing its job. I get asked the question all the time, Jack, do you see rock chips from running your wheels? I am. But there's one predominant reason why there's more rock chips on that truck than there are on some of my previous ones. And we're gonna get to that very soon. We literally can't do that yet because that truck's so dirty. It's not really the most ideal condition to wash a truck. Well, actually, except for one real big reason, which is why I want to do it today. It's kind of like an investment. It's because the next week is going to be absolutely gorgeous. Look at this. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days of no rain in the forecast. Washing a vehicle is a very big investment of time, and unfortunately in today's instance, it's going to be somewhat painful, but 8 days of sunshine, it's gonna be well worth it. Being that it's like 42 degrees Fahrenheit outside, it's going to keep this keg of beer cold. We had a small little Halloween party this past weekend. College days came back to us. The kegs are fantastic, but nobody really has that kind of a tolerance anymore. Even the power washer's cold. Essentially guaranteed 2 things as an outcome of this. I'll have a clean truck, and I'm also probably gonna take a bath. Worth it. I can't feel my hands, and I definitely took a bath during that process. Truck's clean, so I'm gonna pass you guys to Jake for a little while I go inside and we're back up.
What's up, guys, and welcome to the nice warm shop. We're chilling here with dog number 2 right there, which if you haven't already gotten entered for, be sure to head off to doorsoffsupply.com, grab some entries, and take this beast home, because there is not much that stands in its way when it comes to crawling on stuff. Could be fun, but you can only win it if you get entered. So we're gonna be working on the Ford today, trying to get these self-leveling arms to sync up to the control monitor on the center console. Try and get that all calibrated. All she'll need is her wheels and she'll be ready to roll. Pretty cool to see this truck come from where it was stock to where it is now. Speaking of wheels, oh, that's too much. So a quick story about the wheels that we're getting ready to pull out of the back of the Ford and stash in here somewhere until that build comes to fruition. Jack put up a post last week about if anybody had any wheels for sale, just putting some feelers out there, you know. Thomas, who goes by @blue_limited on Instagram, reached out to Jack and they made a deal. So Saturday I went and picked them up and now they're here. give you guys a rundown of what we got here. We got a 22 by 14 American Force Nemesis. They're going on a very, very sweet truck. Back to the matter at hand, getting the self-leveling system on this truck dialed in. We're gonna start by starting, you know? That's what you do. You start by starting. Common practice in these parts. We're gonna take one of the plug valves out of that tank right there and replace it with this line so I can use our compressor to fill up the tanks so we're not putting too much strain on our onboard compressor. And that's how you do that. So this is the sensor tool in the thing. We have to get all those range lows to say okay, because that's actually the positioning of the sensor right now, and apparently it's on the low end. We gotta go take those arms off, just thread them out a little bit, and that should get enough to make that okay. So let's go do that now. All right, so that one worked. See how it says okay for that one now? So that's the front right, and I just moved it, and it's okay. So we gotta do that for all the other three, and then try to calibrate it. Moment of truth here. So everything but the right rear is all right. So I gotta keep messing with the right rear here. Quick update for you. I wasn't gonna bore you with sitting there with all the boring parts of me sitting there pressing buttons, watching this thing go up and down. Pretty much what it is at this point, just a process of finding what's right for the system to like. That's what it is. By doing that, I'm taking these bars here and trying to find the proper length for that sensor right there to be happy with that. So as I showed you earlier on the screen up here, it'll say okay when it's happy. To get it happy at the length I have right now, I don't have the proper linkages. So with that being said, someone's gotta go to the hardware store. It just happens to be that Jack's right there, so here he is.
Oh my goodness, guys, if you were wondering about the condition of my hands, yes, I finally have feeling back in them. It's nice to have my dexterity back, and as a positive, the truck is super clean right now, which feels very nice. What do they say? No pain, no gain? I think it goes something like that. So Jake needed me to go pick up some parts to get that Kelderman Air Ride self-leveling system calibrated. I think it's called like a 6mm all thread. And we're gonna just kind of go ahead and walk into the hardware store and hope they know what those are. Good news, they had it. And you know what? I could have guessed that literally I was looking for a dowel that is literally just all threads, M6 by 1.0. This is the little piece of metal that is on the self-leveling arms in the Kelderman kitten. Well, Jake needs to adjust them. It's a very, very picky thing, mind you. It's basically a game of trial and error in measuring different lengths, and well, hopefully this is his key to success. Now, before we head into the shop and hold Jake's hand in this process here, just kidding, before we help him, check out Blackjack 67, AKA Brendan Miller's brandy spanking new wheels he just put on Blackjack. If you guys can't recall, this is Dream Diesel giveaway number 8, and we had some pretty badass 2412 specialty forged wheels in this thing. Now he's running this sick set of 2210 -25 American Force Classics with a 3813 522 wheel and tire setup. Not bad if I do say so myself. Giving away an actual truck is easily the best feeling in the world, but there's also a really good feeling that comes along with seeing the new owners of said trucks making them their own. I love seeing the evolution of the enthusiast. Jake probably needs our help. We should go inside. Now that's a sound that I can get used to. What is going on, Super Duty? How you been, my brother, man? Well, your airbags are looking really good, but I understand that you needed one of these. It's these little arms that we're messing around with today to try and get this system calibrated so we can actually set our ride height. These little dowels right here control the entire brain behind this machine. Now, guys, I did also want to let you guys know that Doors Off giveaway number 2 is still live. It will be ending very soon. November 19th is going to come very, very quickly. If you want a chance at winning this JKU Rubicon and $10,000 cash, grab some entries because you might be getting the call to take that thing home. And just as a quick reminder, if you drive it for a little while, once you win it and you realize that maybe the Jeep thing isn't for you, you could sell it for a nice chunk of change and then you could go buy yourself a diesel truck. I mean, I'm just throwing things out there.
Oh, that's nice. All right, let's stick it in.
How many times have you run this calibration?
Ready to go.
It has kind of a process. It's like a 17-step process, and it needs to go through and make its checks and balances. It always gets hung up at one step, and that's when those leveling arms aren't exactly where they need to be in the zero tolerance. So you can kind of see it has a brain of its own right now going through this system. Now what Jake is doing is he's supplementing the air supply from the actual onboard container, so that way we're not overworking the compressor. Dude, that whole setup looks so sick, though. Oh my God.
Now it probably still says okay in the range.
I don't know how to get back to that screen.
All right, so hold the middle button and the bottom button.
Ooh, we're holding hands right now.
All right, so ranges are low. So yell when those get to proper.
Okay, see? Okay, we have faith in you, Jacob.
At least somebody does.
We're gonna leave him to mess around with that. It's not that it's being challenging in a sense of installation, it's just in calibrating something electronic, you have to get the truck set at a specific height, and after it calibrates, it goes up and down for a little while, then you have to get it back to the height. So there's just kind of a lot of tactical execution to get it to where it needs to be, but I have faith in Jake. I know he can do it. So guys, let's talk about the Denali. Talk a little bit about wheels and what they'll do to your truck if they protrude past the body line. Manufacturers intended for wheels to stay within the body line because they have these nice things called fenders, and inevitably fenders have fender liners, and fender liners are supposed to protect all of the stuff under the body of your truck from getting hit with debris that's picked up on the road. Now, if you're like me, which I'm sure you are because you clicked on this video, then you like to have your wheels and tires protrude from the body line a little bit or a lot of bit. I like kind of the mid bit. I think a 14 wide and a 2020 Denali DURTYMAX looks fantastic. This setup is a 22x14 American Force, aka the -73 offset, 355 40/22 Nitto tire. Side note, it's definitely my favorite tire, best looking tire in my personal opinion to put on any truck in general. It gives the truck perfect stance in my opinion, but with that look, there could be a compromise, and that is that some of your body panels can get hit with debris that's picked up on the road, picked up from gravel parking lots, picked up from wherever you might be driving, and then basically thrown up against your paint. I've had this truck for exactly a year and 4 months. Here's the status on the rock chips. We've got one there. We've got a rock chip right here. That's about the size of my fingertip. Got a really bad rock chip right here. Really bad rock chip right here. Double whammy right there. One right here and one right there. So what do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna say 6 because that's 2 and 1. 7, 8 on this side alone. And then on this side, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I don't really want to look any further because I'm kind of depressed already. 17 rock chips total from the wheels sticking past the fender line. The age-old debate is it from your wheels and tires? Rock chips are inevitable no matter what wheel and tire setup you have. It's kind of a compromise that you make, but I found in my experience that there are actually ways to dramatically reduce the amount of rock chips that will end up on your rocker panels. And in most instances, when you get a truck, it's actually free. On my first DURTYMAX, as I call the OG LML, it's a 2015 Silverado 2500 HD, I ran this exact same wheel and tire setup for almost 2 years. But the one fundamental change between this truck and that truck was the fact that I never actually removed the factory running boards, and those were the absolute best first barrier of defense to protect against any debris getting thrown up against my rocker panels. I insisted on never removing them because I saw just how beat up they were up underneath, knowing that if I removed them, all of that stuff would get thrown right up against the rockers, just like everything is on the 2020. I went with a different option on this truck. We have the amp research steps, which are a very cool touch. They fold in and they fold down. It's very nice, very polite thing to do on the truck, but unfortunately they don't offer the same degree or same level of protection for your rocker panels. As you can see, when the running boards are down, the running board is directly in line with the wheel and tire, so assuming that any debris gets thrown off of the wheel and projectiled up to that rock chip right there, if this running board was actually out, that projectile, whatever it might have been, would have gotten stopped. So I wanted to make this video purely from an experience, knowing that I was genuinely able to A/B test my theory from my first truck, and I can confirm right now, in fact, that if you keep your factory style running boards on the truck or a fixed running board in general, that there's a higher likelihood that you're going to reduce the chances of rock chips on your doors and on your quarter panel. And I wanted to let you guys know that if you choose to make the investment for amp research steps, not only are you gonna get that cool factor, you're gonna get that nice clean look that goes from front to back. You're not really gonna have that big step, kind of looks out of place in most instances, but you're also going to subject yourself to more vulnerable body panels. Just know that anything that sticks out from the body line will subject you to that same shotgun effect. To this day, it is still the absolute worst feeling when I pull out of, let's just say, my shop, top, and that 2A modified rock gets stuck in between the treads of that trail grappler, go down the road right over there, and I just hear whack right against the side of the truck. Now, a lot of you guys don't run wide wheels whatsoever, but I also want to know that even if you run a bigger tire, more aggressive tire in general, the likelihood that that tire is going to grab more material and hold onto it for a longer time is higher. So you might be able to say, oh, well, I run a factory wheel with a 37-inch tire, kind of like we have on the black Super Duty inside that Jake's still working on the airbags on. Regardless, it's still going to pick up debris and it's still going to splatter it. If you're going around a turn, the tire will still come from out of the body line and throw things up at the truck regardless. The guys that don't really like all the offset, I know you're probably typing away frivolously in the comment section right now saying, well, it's because you have these big, stupid, wide wheels and tires. Fine, that's why we're enthusiasts. We all like a specific build style. I just prefer that one right there. And I realize that it's kind of a trade-off that needs to be made. Now guys, Dream Diesel giveaway number 14 is not that far away, and I've got some really exciting news. Over the last few months, we've been working on introducing a new line of products to Enthusiast Apparel, and they are these. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, bullet antennas will be making a return. We had a very small amount of them back in January that sold like absolute wildfire, and ever since we've been getting your messages asking when they would be back. We will be offering multiple variations for most years, makes, and models. So here you can see we have a brushed aluminum one, we might be doing polished ones, and we will have black ones. Just kind of like this key tag right here. It's nice in an anodized finish and it will look so good. I don't know, guys. Black or brushed? Black or brushed? We'll also be bringing in these mini key tag bottle openers that are also billet machined aluminum. These are just prototype variants. The final ones might look a little bit different, but we wanted to make it small enough to where it was basically the size of a key fob. That way it wasn't intrusive, and that way you can always open your favorite beverage in a time of need, or you can reach in your pocket and grab your keys by your key tag. All these things should be live by Dream Diesel giveaway number 14. Now, as a final takeaway, if you guys decide that you want wide wheels and you want to do amp research or retractable step, then there are still options available such as paint protection film like Expel. You could very easily, all it takes is money, throw Expel on the entire side of your truck when you might as well do the front while you're at it. What that would do is basically completely cover up your factory paint with a protective film, which would dramatically reduce the likelihood of paint chips or paint damage. I considered it, then I got a quote and realized that I was not interested in doing that at all because it is very expensive. It was somewhere around like $3,000 or $4,000. Now, I don't really know what that service trades for. I kind of got like one quote and then I was just like, it's not worth it in my personal opinion. But hey, it is an option, and if that's the peace of mind that you're seeking, at least it's available. So that being said, guys, that's where I'm gonna wrap up this video. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Hopefully this helped you in either your current modification pursuit or for when you do get that diesel truck one day, because I know I have a lot of aspiring diesel enthusiasts out there, and believe me, just work very hard and you will get that truck of your dreams. It's only a matter of time. It's not if, it's when, boys. Remember that. Smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notification bell so you guys don't miss out on future uploads. That being said, see y'all in the next one.